with that, I guess I'll start the show. Why not? Cool. I really don't know how to start this vid, other than that, the grand opening. But I was talking more or less today about how I'll feel this void deep inside of me that I want to fill, and it's not really anything that I can fully fill ever. You know. By the way, this is Marlboro NXTs. Don't know how y'all feel about that, but it is what it is. I really like popping the little thing. Hold on. Yeah, you pop it and you get that little menthol. You can always pop it at the end too and just get like one huge spike. Where was I? I always have this void that I want to fill, and it's one of those things to where I will find a way to, work out or read or follow my goals, right? And really feel like that's keeping that tension, you know, in between feeling like nothing and doing something, right? Doing something for me, being selfish, having some type of like ego drive, of surviving some type of way. But what if I didn't have anything like that? What if it was just back to square one to where I was, popping Xanax nonstop, to where I was drinking all the time, just wanting to get to that state of nothing, right? What if it was back to that zone? What does that feel like? And there's a part of me that's terrified of that. There's a part of me that's terrified of being nothing whatsoever, of no drive, no pull, no say so. But I guess this is just one of those things to where you really don't have say so on what happens next, There's some things that aren't free will, I guess you could say, right? And that's what I was saying today. It was more or less just like, a cigarette is a phallus. Cigarette is that big fat juicy dong that comes in and asserts yourself, asserts your life. I'm proving that I do, that no, I do have a choice, and I'm going to keep on going, right? But other times, a cigarette's just a cigarette. Death is just death. Things really don't mean anything whatsoever. Things are empty, completely empty. And that is, again, the amount of terror that is with that is, it almost like stops you right where you are. Like, it freezes everything. It's like a freeze. It stops everything. And I think being in that spot of meaninglessness, of nothingness, is still vital, I think that nothingness is still somehow always having to be felt, right? And always being honored. To give a little bit of background, I have been sober for about 2 years now, and that's sober from like everything. Just been abstinent from literally anything that, even caffeine, right? I look like a freak ordering decaf, but hey, you know, it's not really about the looks. Um, but yeah, I was just talking today and thought about it. What's so bad about the meaninglessness of it all, without sounding deflationary? I think without sounding like there's no, without nothingness being nothing, without nothingness being more or less like taking the wind out of somebody's sails, right? And us just giving up whenever there is nothing, no meaning to it all, right? How can you be in that little zone of, I mean, not caring while not feeling dejected, you know? And yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of meaning that I think allows us to keep on going. There's a lot of meaning that allows somebody to be comfortable. Somebody might look at this and say, oh, what is this? Like, what is this even about? Is this just like some first world problems? And it is, right? It is. I don't think people that are in fighting for their life, and people that are in these other places to where they don't know what's going to come next, I don't know if they can have this type of train of thought. So I do think that it is I think it's a luxury, to smoke a cigarette on a Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday morning, right? Getting down to the little bit of it. But there's a bunch of meanings that you could put on this. And will anything ever truly mean nothing? I don't know. But is that even a way of me wanting to be? Tough shit. I have no clue what a clue is. Yeah. Right.